I've been working on our whisker pole again, or spinnaker pole for a Courier 18. Had a whole heap of holes in it here, all damaged around the end. You'll see some of the cracks there were previously filled. I put two dowels in here because I had to dig out the screws, the mild steel screws. So it had quite a hole there, so I just put dowels in and glued them in with the boat coat epoxy. And now we'll put a first coat on. And if you look, whoops, we'll go along the pole and just have a quick look. Now one of the things we put a little bit too much on. You'll see here, it's quite furry. That's because the timber was degraded and the epoxy drew right in. Anywhere where it's quite shiny, the timber was in good condition. But where it's there's cracks on that, you need a bit more effort. Now I bug it up here. When I finished off, we used a bit too much resin in this area. I told John to go back over and finish it off, or finish off his resin. But we ended up with it quite thick in this area. It won't hurt, just means we've got to do a bit of sanding to get it off, that's all. But there's a really good technique when you're doing a long pole. I've used old coat hangers, screw in each end, and we just rotate it as we go. And that's the easy way to do a pole. So see how it spins easily? And you can roll it as you go. Make sure you wear gloves or you'll end up with epoxy all over your hands. Now, the next one I'm going to show you. See how we've got buckets on these fellas? So I've done the outside with boat coat. I'll put two coats on the top now, so that the bottom no one's going to see. So now I've done the bottom, we'll take the buckets over, and I'll fix the dags on here, and I'll do 2 or 3 coats on the inside. What this fellow was made for is to put this one inside it. So you can put him inside and stow it. So it sits inside there, nice and neat. And the reason for that is, when I'd go cruising, when we're in the storage bag, these little ends would break off because this is Australian red cedar, and it's not strong enough, and these would break off. So that these won't break off, I've made a little storage case for him. And that's it there. So there's a couple of neat ways to hold stuff up when you're epoxying. And in here you'll see, in this area here, if you look, we've actually got epoxy down onto the base, but epoxy won't stick to the plastic. So I use plastic containers of all sorts and sizes to stow my gear or set up my gear on when I'm epoxying, because you don't want to put it down onto a hard surface, because this happens. Any excess you got will roll around the edges, so you've got to protect against that. That's still fairly soft, so I'm going to take a knife to that as soon as I get some work under control, and I'll cut those dags off before I start sanding. Makes life easy.